And one of my all-time favourites, a dish that always creates a stir, is the daddy of all brunches, steak sandwiches.
For me, the secret of a great brunch is fun and casual. Fuss-free cooking and everyone helping themselves. This is the ultimate steak sandwich. You want the Rolls Royce of beef. It has to be fillet. Now, season it beautifully. I like to open up the top of the pepper mill to increase the size of the pepper in the steak, so it gives that bit of heat. Nice little chunks. You just roll now, nicely, all the way around. Now, slice the garlic in half. Pan nice and hot. Olive oil in. Hold the steak and just place it into the pan. Don't drop it. At the front of the pan. We're going to tilt the pan forward to cook the back of the steak, dual purpose. Now, roll it back and sear underneath. Next, my garlic. And roast that garlic. Thyme, fry that thyme. I want to hear it. We're not looking for a lot of colour because you're going to dry out the fillet. So, just one end, turn it back down, and sear the other end in. Lift up your thyme, place it on top of the garlic. There. Lift up your fillet and sit that on top of your garlic. Butter in. Take a spoon, tilt the pan gently, lift up and baste. I've got that scented garlic, thyme flavour. The steak's going to cook evenly because it's sat on a little bed in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. Pan on. For the relish, you think of a steak sandwich, you think of a sort of nice heated tomato relish.
To make the relish, finely dice a red onion.
3-finger rule. 1 in front, 2 behind. Through and chop. Wow.
Next, roughly chop a chilli, keeping the seeds in for extra heat.
Start off with the olive oil into a pan. Onions, chilli. Generous with the olive oil. I want a nice sort of rich, silky relish. From there, take your tomatoes. You can just use red tomatoes, but these yellow and red make the perfect combination. Now, touch of salt in, pepper, and then roast those tomatoes off. Take a wooden spoon and just sort of break them up. Once the skins blister, the whole tomato just starts to release all that really nice, sweet texture. A little teaspoon of sherry vinegar gives that nice, acidic balance to the sweetness of the tomatoes. Turn down the gas and just let them sort of stew perfectly. Now, a steak sandwich would not be complete unless it had the most amazing mustard mayonnaise.
Simply add 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise to 3 teaspoons of whole grain mustard.
Now I've got the relish almost down to like a really nice jam. Now, I want to make that relish a little bit more fragrant. Some basil. Slice it through and sprinkle that basil in there. Beautiful. Look at this. There she is. My crown jewels. Time to take it out. Smell is incredible. And just baste one more time. Fill it. Touch, it's quite soft in the center, so it's just coming up to mid-rare. Let it rest at the same time you cooked it. It will be nice and pink evenly throughout the steak.
To make my sandwich, I'm going to char grill some sliced ciabatta bread.
Season it nicely. Just a little drizzle of olive oil. I want to get that bread nice and crispy. Pan, nice and hot. Bread in. push it down. Smell is amazing, that sort of charcoal flavour. Once you've got those marks on the bread, it just stops the bread from becoming soggy. And look at this here. It is stunning. On. Slice it gently. One beautiful slice. Wow. It's nice and pink all the way through. And the beef is so soft. It's almost like slicing through butter. Let the knife do the work. Take a little bit of mayonnaise, spread that with the back of the spoon on both sides. Next, lettuce. Take that beautiful slice of beef. Oh, and then relish on top of that beef and just slice the sandwich in half. Beautiful. Now that's what I call a steak sandwich.
Trust me, serve this sublime sandwich for brunch and you'll put a smile on everyone's face. My next easy standby supper is beef meatball sandwich with melting mozzarella and tomato salsa. Top a lightly toasted roll with pan-fried meatballs. Then tear off chunks of creamy buffalo mozzarella, pile it on, and melt it under the grill. For the tangy salsa, slice sweet red onion, then add juicy diced tomatoes and roughly chopped fresh coriander. Season and drizzle with olive oil. Spoon over. Perfect in a flash. Beef meatball sandwich with melting mozzarella and a tomato salsa, a sandwich to die for.
My ultimate lunch when I was growing up was very plain, pretty trashy, but I still love it now and again. Fish fingers with a delicious chip butty. The secret of a good chip butty is in the potato. Now these are Desiree potatoes. One of my first ever jobs was working in a chip shop. I used to put sacks and sacks of potatoes into the rumbler, which was then the potato peeler, all day long. Today I'm gonna do something a little bit healthier.
For my oven chips with a twist, simply peel, slice, and blanch for 3 to 4 minutes. Drain, season, and cover well with paprika. Spread evenly over an oiled baking tray and place into a preheated oven for 20 minutes. Simple as that. Next up, easy fish fingers.
This is pollock, a really nice, firm, delicious fish. Cut the fish in finger-size batons of fish. Put them onto your plate and just lightly salt them. You can do that literally 20 minutes, 30 minutes before you start cooking the fish. It firms the fish up beautifully and it allows it to become a little bit more durable, especially in the pan.
Now for the coating. Start by thoroughly coating the fish in seasoned flour.
And then just roll it to get rid of those little sharp corners, because then it stops those corners almost burning in the pan. In to your egg wash and really coat them. Wonderful. And then this is dill. Goes brilliantly well with the fish. And run the dill through my breadcrumbs. That makes it more aromatic. Lay them onto your breadcrumbs. Nothing wrong with the chip butty, nothing wrong with fish fingers. Just give it a lovely modern twist. Beautiful.
Once the fish fingers are thoroughly coated, they're ready to pan fry. And they'll need around 3 minutes on each side.
I want the fish fingers to be nice and crispy. Get a really nice colour on them first, and then we'll flip them over and finish them with butter. Bring the heat up into the pan. A nice little knob of butter. That'll work wonders with the breadcrumbs and the dill. Nice and carefully. Take them out. They look and smell incredible. So nice and crispy.
Now to assemble my chip butty, starting with buttered, thick, crusty bread.
Get your slice of bread mop up that amazing flavour. On, slice in half. Never slice in an angle. My mouth is salivating. Beautiful. On with the chip butty. There's one thing missing, and it signifies that I've never forgotten the joy of comfort food. But my God, that makes me feel like a 9-year-old. Now, excuse me for one moment, will you? I want to stuff my face.
Homemade fish fingers and my ultimate chip butty. So simple to make, but trust me, it tastes amazing. Pan banya.
This is a picnic sandwich with a twist, but the secret is in the layers. I'm gonna make a delicious tapenade, a puree of olives, seasoned with capers and anchovies. A nice tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, garlic in, a little teaspoon of red wine vinegar. That just sort of zaps up the flavour. I quite like leaving it nice and chunky. Tastes better and feels richer. I much prefer spreading a smooth layer of tapenade rather than using butter.
Now to prepare my first Mediterranean sandwich filling.
I want nice, long slices of courgette. Courgettes can be a bland vegetable. Season them nicely. Once that grill's nice and hot, a tablespoon of olive oil. The more colour you put on those courgettes, the more flavour.
While my griddled courgettes cool, I can prepare the bread.
This is a stunning, beautiful country loaf, but we're not going to slice it. I'm just going to cut the top off because I'm assembling a picnic sandwich basket. And then, an inch from the crust, I'm going to go around, scoop out a nice, large, hollow. Don't waste this bread. Put that out to dry. It makes the most amazing breadcrumbs. The secret now is filling that cavity with all those wonderful Mediterranean flavours. And we're going to leave them to sort of sit and marinate, lightly season the inside of the loaf. Drizzle of olive oil, line with that wonderful tapenade, and spread it generously. Puts the groundwork in, starts to set the tone for the flavours that we're incorporating.
Traditionally, the main protein in pan banya would be tuna. I'm sticking with the med, but replacing the fish with some of my family's Italian favourites.
Parma ham. I'm going to start lining my sandwich from the centre. Every time I add another ingredient, it's just another stunning layer of texture and flavour. But what I'm thinking about is what actually complements the next layer. Mozzarella, a little spoon of my tapenade. We've got the most amazing piquillo pepper, so it's got a nice smoky barbecue flavour. Open them up and lay them on top. Next layer is wonderful grilled courgettes. On top of that, sun-blushed tomatoes. Concentrated, but really chewy and delicious. And each time, lightly press them down. Creamy mozzarella again. And then finally, peppers. Push that down, not too firm. Fold in. And seal that with your tapenade. Almost like a little glue. Now, lid on to seal all that flavour in there. And not only travels well, but actually tastes delicious. That is one stunning picnic sandwich.
Next, a brilliant picnic salad that's just as robust as your pan banya.
Carrot and cumin and orange. Perfect combination. Again, travels brilliantly. It doesn't wilt, doesn't disintegrate. Orange zest. Squeeze the orange over. Sunflower seeds, a bit of crunch in there. Pumpkin seeds, again, another bite.
Next, a hint of spice. Toasted cumin seeds ground with the help of a little coarse sea salt.
A nice fine powder.
Now for the dressing.
A tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a tablespoon of honey, half a tablespoon of white wine vinegar, and then a nice glug of olive oil. Some fresh mint and coriander.
The minute you start
Picking fresh herbs, all that flavour comes out. A nice mix. Delicious vinaigrette. Mix that in. give enough dressing, bind it together, excite the palate, not drown it. If it was a leaf salad, then I'd take the dressing separately, but because this is a robust root vegetable, it can sustain being dressed now and eaten in 2 hours' time. Sweet, spicy, fragrant. Can't really ask much more from a carrot, can you? Beautiful. Just when your guests think that you're cutting up a delicious country loaf, look at that baby. Wow. And who would not want to join you on a picnic with a sandwich like that?
My ultimate picnic lunch to surprise and impress, pan banya, bursting with rich sunshine flavours and served with a refreshingly zingy carrot, cumin and orange salad.